Accessing mainframe.
Launch authorization received. Countdown sequence initiated.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 4, 4.
Hi, I am Rhonda, the Realtor Premier. Welcome back to another episode of Three Chicks and Flix. Three Chicks and Flix was created during the pandemic, and we three ladies are here to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of all things streaming in the dramatic world of social media as we all survive this pandemic age. I again am Rhonda, the Realtor Premier, with my tribe, the graphic guru, Miss Alicia Hancock, and of course the social butterfly herself, Kim Byer Clark. How my girls? How y'all doing?
I am good. I had a busy week, but a good week. Work-wise, got to work on this really cool illustration project. And it's weird how I would stray from like illustration at the corporate gig for like a long time because I was intimidated by it. But now I so love doing it. So yeah, it's like something for a learning portal. So it'll be something that's going to be seen globally. So that was fun. Packing and moving, but you know, kind of in good shape. So I had a good week. All's good.
Good stuff. Kim, what have you been up to?
Just, you know, another week, another dollar, as they say. Just, you know, in trying to enjoy life. I am 2 weeks past my COVID shot, so I guess I'm officially vaccinated, as they say. But I'm still going to practice social distancing and wearing my mask, and looking forward to the warmer weather that's coming our way. Although I am not enjoying this pollen. I have very, very bad allergies, and this pollen here in Atlanta is off the charts.
Joke.
My car, I have a white car, and my car is the color of this sweatshirt. But all in all is good. And how are you doing? Are you all right, Rhonda?
I am. All is well. Nothing really, nothing much really going on. I have a friend who surprised me and from Baton Rouge who came by to show me some love. So I am just really excited to be able to spend some time with her. And I'm just glad to see you ladies so that we can talk about what is going on in the world of streaming. There's some good stuff out there. I mean, really.
It really is. This podcast, we are talking about Marriage and Mortgage, Queen Sugar, and Tina, as I call her, Miss Tina, Queen Tina, Tina Turner.
Right.
So let's get started with marriage or mortgage.
Marriage or mortgage, like who even thought that was a good idea? Like those two things are at the opposite ends of the spectrum. To me, it's a no-brainer, not just because I'm a realtor, but because I'm a responsible adult. How about that? Like, and I guess I shouldn't say that, no judgment, but yeah, you can always have a wedding, but you don't always have the opportunity to become a homeowner, especially when they're giving like all those perks and stuff. I mean, I'm looking at these people, I'm like, okay, so you have 2 kids and you live in a 2-bedroom, boys, and you choose a wedding over a house with a yard for your boys to grow up in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And some updated appliances. Come on.
Some updated appliances, right? Okay, and then you are leaders in your church, and you choose a house over getting married, which is cool because they could have just went, you don't have to have this a big elaborate wedding. What matters is that you're getting married, and then you can always do the wedding later, right? I think that couple that are leaders in the church, I think they probably did do that, like their pastor probably married them or something like that eventually. But like, do that. All of them could have done that. Get your house, get a beautiful house, and then guess what? You could have your wedding in the house, in your backyard. So I mean, the stories were interesting, but the whole concept, was just baffling to me that people would literally, you have a choice of a house to build a foundation or a wedding. That's one, it may or may not last. I hope they all do. And two, that's a liability. That's not an asset. You're not benefiting from that financially down the line. Once that wedding is over, people gonna eat your food, drink your liquor, they gonna it out, and that's the end of it. You have nothing to show for it. So that's my take. So entertaining at best.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Marriage or Mortgage, it's streaming on Netflix. In this day and age, like you said, Rhonda, I think you'd rather have an asset than a liability. But it's a reality show that features engaged couples who decide if they want to spend their nest egg of either a down payment on a house or a one-day event. That's basically it in a nutshell. And so they work with an event planner and a realtor who get them the ultimate hookups. Either it's a free this in the house or free this during the wedding. And I don't remember the tally of how many couples decided on the marriage versus the house. Some did the house, some did the marriage. But what I did like about the show was the variety of couples that they showed. From, like you said, there was a Christian couple, there were interracial couples, there was a same-sex couple. So I think they showed the gamut of relationships in this day and age. But like you said, Rhonda, I would have probably picked the house every time versus the marriage. And like you said, you could use your backyard or patio or whatever you had in your new house as your wedding venue. So, yeah, it was a great mindless show to watch, so that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. House over wedding for sure. I've always said if somebody proposes to me on a Tuesday, we get married on Wednesday. Even if I have to leave work and come back and change my clothes. I mean, I think that maybe I had that wedding fantasy when I was younger, but now, like you said, being a responsible adult, it's like a house with some appliances that I've always wanted. But the couple that got me, she was obsessed with that freaking ranch dressing fountain, which totally disgusted me. Like, totally disgusted me.
And clearly this was taped prior to COVID, okay?
But I think
would not be using anybody's fountain.
Yeah, and I think that was the couple who, by the time they had their wedding,
COVID had hit.
By COVID anyway, so they had to cut it down. I'm like, you should have picked the house. You should have picked it. Because I feel like it's not about the wedding, it's about the marriage. And you can go into a marriage like a step ahead. A house? I'm with y'all. That was just a no-brainer. I feel like I need some hours back in my life to watch it. But I will say, I love Nashville, so I did love seeing like the different neighborhoods and stuff in Nashville. And of course, I love like seeing like the house, how they furnished it, and all that. But I'm like you, that was a no-brainer. Yeah, I was very disappointed with the couples who picked the wedding. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So, what rating do y'all give Marriage or Mortgage? I give it 2 sips.
Yeah.
Oh, we all agreed. 2 sips for me.
Yeah, that was it.
That's it. 2 sips.
That's it.
Okay, let's talk about Queen Sugar, a show that was actually developed from a book. So, Kim, what is your take on this season?
So Queen Sugar, it's on the OWN network, which is owned by Auntie Oprah. Auntie O. And so it's been around since 2016, where it's just giving you a little context around the show since it's been on for several seasons. But it's around 3 siblings who move back to Louisiana and inherit a sugarcane farm. So that's the title, Queen Sugar, because that's the crop that's very prevalent in Louisiana. And so this season, I've always enjoyed the show, but this season to me has resonated so deep within my soul, because it's like in real time in terms of them, addressing the pandemic and how that, has unraveled. We're now a year into the COVID pandemic. The George Floyd murder. I'm calling it a murder. That's what it is. And then Black Lives Matter as well, intersecting into the whole storyline. So it's just very emotional, but I'm enjoying it because we're all experiencing it right now. The highs and the lows that we're going through. And I just kudos to Ava DuVernay, who created the show, and the writers and the directors tend to be, I think she always selects women to lead the show. But this season has just been phenomenal. And I don't know how many more episodes we have to go, but I'm just blown away just because it feels so visceral and so real.
Yeah. I will say initially, when I go back to the first season, I was slightly disappointed because I had read the book. And the book, Charlie started off in San Francisco. She was already divorced. And then she did come back to Louisiana to deal with the farm. But the interesting thing was that Hollywood was actually a yard man. And he's the one that ended up giving Charlie the money to save the farm. Like, he had saved up all this money from cutting yards. I'm like, okay, y'all, really? But, maybe it's possible. But after I saw the evolution of the show, I really started enjoying it. And looking at that eye candy Kofi really helped the situation. But I'm with you. I am actually enjoying this season more than I enjoyed the last season. The wedding episode was just, I feel like it came at the right time. It was just like a feel good, family, I remember watching that after I'd had a long, hard day. And I was like, oh my God, this just makes me so happy. But I'm with you. I love the way that they're dealing with current issues, which is the pandemic and, all the Black Lives Matter stuff. I'm curious to see how it's gonna evolve. But, we can see that, somebody does have COVID. So, I was like, yeah. I love the way she's incorporated into the show what we're going through now, and enjoying it. Yeah.
It's definitely real time, like you guys said, and I love how Charlie went to the protests with her son and everything. I wonder, I didn't go to any of the protests. I was kind of protesting from my couch, but I really applaud people that do that, that actually go out and stand up and speak for those like myself who aren't going to do that, right? So I applaud that. And I love going to the wedding. I mean, like you said, I'm gonna get married. They were like, okay, we're getting married tomorrow or this afternoon, whatever it was. Who does that? People who understand that love is love, right? You don't have to wait and plan. It's like, if you can come, you can come. If you can't, and they needed that. Imagine if, during COVID, if that opportunity happened to one of us, it just makes it so much better. It's like, we're just putting it together. You realize that you don't need all the fluff and extra stuff of this world to be happy, right? They're just like, we're here, we're gonna use what we got, we're gonna get some twigs and some flowers out the yard. I'm gonna make you this, it's like, you really, really take a moment to realize what's important. Another thing I love is how they showed Hollywood, how he related to George Floyd, crying for his mother, because, Hollywood just lost his mother. In the previous episode, he just lost his mother. And he's like, dang, a grown man, he's like, a grown man crying for his mother, feeling like that's the only person that can be there. And then Vi just totally, she didn't take offense to it, where some women might be like, well, what about me? I'm here to support you, not just your mother. But she really, really, I love their relationship because they really listen to each other. They understand each other. They support each other. And to me, Queen Sugar is one big love story. I think it's just one big love story. Vi in Hollywood,
Ralph Angel.
Ralph Angel. I'm sorry. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Ralph Angel, Charlie and her son. It's just one big love story. Intimate, relationships and family, and it's just honest and to the point. But the part that really, really, really touched me was when Ralph Angel and his son were, the family were holding the signs. And then the officer came, really? And he knew that they owned the land. In my mind, it's a small town, small town sheriff. They know everybody and who owns what. How dare you? How dare you? It's no matter how much they do or how far they've come, they still got to continue to prove themselves. But Ralph,
I feel like Ralph Angel's tears were probably real tears. I feel like that was probably a very hard scene for him too, because it's just so relatable. He's probably like, yeah, this happened to me, in some form or fashion. But we need to talk about the sister. I love the relationship between her boyfriend and the boyfriend's daughter.
Yeah.
I really thought, the daughter's not going to be feeling this, but oh my God, that relationship, it seems like it's going to be like a beautiful relationship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was hard for her because her mother's the total opposite, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I want to just go back and just say the music they played during the wedding, number one, was just, we need to Shazam that, Miss Alicia, and make that a playlist for the house. And number two, I cried when that scene with the police officer, because he wanted to say the N-word so bad. Yeah. And then for Blue, I don't know how, I guess he's 7 or 8 years old. And for him to experience that as a young Black male in front of his own father, just to see how he was treated, is just, that's America, and it's just so sad.
And another moment that I love is when Vi invited the friend, the older man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because she knew he was alone. And that's been really hard for older people. Hell, I live alone. So yeah, I love that part. Yeah, you're right. That season is all about love.
And that was amazing. And I love the self-control that Ralph Angel he showed in front of Blue, because he really checked himself. And that was because, and that just shows his growth as a man from season 1 until now, right? Yeah. Because I'm thinking he was thinking, how I react to this situation is going to stay with Blue forever.
Ever. You're right.
So if he went off and started, going off on the officer, or, going back and forth, then Blue would think that it's okay as he gets older to disrespect authority and all of that. But he was cool, calm, and collective, but he was still like, this is my house. What? No. Yeah. So it was great. I think that we can go on and on about Queen Sugar, because there's so many subliminal messages and so many stories that are embedded in these episodes. Mm-hmm. And I'm just excited to see, like you said, how it's gonna continue.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, this gets 5 stars. This season gets 5 stars, even though it hasn't finished.
5 stars, yeah.
I hope
I get 5 sips.
5 sips. I'm sorry. Excuse me. You're right. 5 sips. Ooh, excuse me, moi. 5 sips. Because and I just hope they get some Emmys and whatever other awards they're eligible for.
Have to.
It's just phenomenal.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
I do know that Ralph Angel's now wife. That's Tina Lawson's
Stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter.
Yeah, Beyonce's stepsister. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, the gentleman she's married to, another actor, Richard Lawson, who he's been around forever
Yeah, I
today.
know.
That's his daughter.
Oh, little known Black history fact.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, we just dishing it all for you. Chix and Flix.
Okay, ladies.
Oh my goodness.
Going to end with talking about the documentary of Tina Turner. I'm glad I so enjoyed it. It's a documentary. I think they said it took her 3 years to actually film everything. But I want to say, just from the beginning, the line that got me and actually made me kind of sad was she said that the goodness in her life in the beginning did not outweigh the bad. And I'm like, oh my God, that's just so, and how she said she was like living a life of death. But let me tell you my history with Tina. Have you ever been to a Tina Turner concert?
No, never had the honor or the pleasure.
Y'all, me and my friend Pam Thompson now. I can remember we got up early, went to Foley's department store because they had a ticket master, got in line, got our tickets. She was actually at the Woodlands Pavilion in the middle of the summer. It was hot, it was humid, but I can remember Oprah saying that when you saw her, you got the spirit. That was true.
Yes.
We were sweating and dancing, and to see this mature woman with them fabulous legs sing and dance across that stage, it was like every race, every age. It was on record one of the best concerts I've ever seen. It was just phenomenal. But her journey is just so amazing. How she said she never had the ambition to be a superstar. And look at her now, she's like a freaking superstar. But I was making note of when, starting with the control that Ike had over her. And the control started when he changed the name. And he didn't even tell her. And just for her to talk about the beatings and how, she was saying he beat me, then he screwed me. And then, he tells her, get up there and sing MF. That was your fault. That was your fault. Just go and sing. But after hearing her story, it's like she didn't stay because she was weak. She stayed because she was loyal, because she kept saying, I wanted him to have a hit. So for a man to do all of that to you and for you to still say, but this is the good that I want to do. But interesting is that when they showed the footage of her being beat in the limo, and that was like the day that she finally decided to leave, I looked up and I went, oh my God, that's in Houston, Texas. Y'all, that was the same time my mom and dad saw Ike and Tina Turner at the Astrodome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh my God, that was that weekend. They were leaving Houston after doing that concert at the Astrodome. Because I remember they were walking to the stadium and somebody actually snatched my dad's tickets out of his hands. And they had to go to the ticket window and they gave them more tickets so they got to see him. But when they showed the footage of him being interviewed and saying how that he was explaining that she just needed the attention and that she was unhappy about the womanizing. I'm like, Ike, I think you need to go a little deeper. It was not just about the womanizing, but I was just so happy to see her leave. I read this once that said that men are quicker to leave, but usually always return. It said when a woman, it takes her longer to think if they should leave, but when they leave, they never return. And she was that case, she never returned. But I wonder if she would not have found Buddhism, because that actually gave her confidence. I said, if she wouldn't have found Buddhism, I wonder where she would be in life. Because that she said that did give her the strength that she really needed. But interesting to see how when she left, she started over again and struggled initially. And then the private dancer and What's Love Got to
Do It. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got her on the map, and that was her comeback. And she had a happy ending. And it was interesting to see them show close to the end interviewing her mom. But she said that, her mom left her. Her mom and her dad left her. But she said that I did what I did for my mom because she was my mom. She said my mom didn't want me, but my mom wanted my fame. And to me, that is still just so hurtful for a child. But I can remember seeing the movie, What's Love Got to Do with It, but it was really interesting. It's the first documentary that I've ever seen. I read I, Tina, but I really remember more about the movie for some reason. But I enjoyed it. I just loved her entire take on everything. Really enjoyed all the people that were in her life, being interviewed and telling their side of the story. But yeah, I thought it was well done. And yeah, kudos to Tina. Miss Tina.
Yes, Miss Tina. I've never gone to see Tina Turner in concert. And I think my first memory of Tina Turner was like, What's Love Got to Do with It? I don't remember now that I'm older and I hear songs, I remember my parents playing them. But for me to be like, oh, that's the jam, was kind of like, What's Love Got to Do with It, right? And so I didn't really know much. What I loved about, and we've watched, we watched the Salt and Pepper documentary. We watched and talked about the Wendy Williams and stuff. But the movie, What's Love Got to Do with It, and this documentary are like almost identical. Mm-hmm. Like you can tell Tina had truly had her hand, in the making of What's Love Got to Do with It. And you're right. She stayed. Yeah, she was loyal, but I don't think she stayed because she was weak either. I think she stayed because she was strong. Because
yeah, she was loyal.
No, yeah, it's like you have to be strong to be able to deal with that and then go out and perform, put on your best foot forward. And I don't think there was a performance, just based on footage that I've seen, that she didn't give 110%.
She does. Yeah.
How can you give 110% when you just got your bleepity bleep beat? And just the audacity of Ike to say that she needed attention. She was Tina Turner, boo. She didn't need attention. She was the attention. She was giving it. She was dishing it every time. Yeah. So he's just in denial, as most abusers are.
Yeah.
So
that was a man who didn't have the confidence that we thought he had. And I feel like he got to a point where he was jealous of her. He wanted what she had. And he just didn't have that it factor to me. So yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed Tina, and if you look at the poster, it's Tina ! And that just says it all about the woman. She is the documentary is streaming on HBO and HBO Max. And I felt that this was her farewell to her fans, because throughout the documentary she talked about she's living in Switzerland with her husband, who's 30 years her junior. And this is her way to control her narrative and give the proper send off. She's never going to, we're never going to see her perform again, although they have Tina, the show, on Broadway. Hopefully it'll open back up once Broadway opens up. But I thought it, like you said, Rhonda, you could tell she had her hand in it, and it was just so tastefully done from start to finish. We really learned her story from her difficult childhood. Like you said, both of her parents abandoned her and her brother. I think she had a brother. I mean, that's just beyond devastating to experience that, and the loss of love, that your parents don't even want to raise you. They just left and never came back. Although her mother came back into her life. I don't know what happened to her father. To showing her start in music with Ike Turner, who was just an abusive, drug addicted man who tried to rob her of her spirit, but couldn't. But I did love the part where they talked about them being in court through the divorce proceedings, and they were, she's like, I don't want nothing. And then she goes, oh, wait. I do want something. I want the name, Tina Turner. And the fact that she had the wherewithal to think about that and then take it, and just her trajectory was just off the roof. I thought that was amazing. Starting all, and then starting over from the bottom, no one wanting to sign her, to then getting with the manager who got her the deal. And, What's Love Got to Do with It was her, comeback song, if you want to call it that, but it really wasn't a comeback, like she said. It was her introduction. Mm-hmm. And I remember when that song came out because I dressed up as Tina Turner for Halloween. That's how, that's how much I love Tina Turner. I think I was in 4th or 5th grade when that song came out. So could you imagine my mother? I had to get the jean jacket and the black leather dress. I don't think I wore heels at that time, and I found a wig with spiky hair and everything. I loved that song. And so I just really enjoyed the documentary, learning that. I forgot that she was a Buddhist. My stepfather and my brother are Buddhist. So when she was chanting, I know that chant very well. And I think that was another stepping stone to help her find who she is and center who she is, because Buddhism is very about being centered and being present. But wow, what a life. I hope that she, lives the remaining years. I think I've heard that she's had a stroke. I don't know if she had a stroke, but she's had some health challenges. And so this, I just hope she lives out her remaining days very happy and healthy in Switzerland with her husband. And I might watch it again. I just really, really enjoyed this documentary about Tina Turner.
And I just love the confidence that she had when she met her husband. When she told him, come back to LA, I want you to make love to me. Go girl.
But on a serious note, we do also want to, if you are in an abusive relationship, whether it's verbal or physical, there are resources out there such as the National Domestic Violence Hotline. We have it scrolling across the bottom of the screen. It's 1-800-799-7233 or 1-800-799, which spells out the word safe. And then you can also go online to thehotline.org, which seems like a very easy website to remember. And their tagline on their website, when I was looking it up today, is everyone deserves healthy relationships. And that is so very true.
We, the ladies of Three Chix and Flix, understand that domestic violence is a very sensitive issue.
Domestic violence affects millions of people in the United States each year. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men have experienced contact, sexual violence, physical violence, and or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime, with negative impacts such as injury, fear, concern for safety, and needing services.
If you feel that you are being abused physically, sexually, emotionally, or even economically by your partner, spouse, or significant other,
and are in need of wanting help, you can reach out to the NDV hotline,
the National Domestic Violence Hotline, at 1-800-799-7233.
That's 1-800-799-SAFE, or go to thehotline.org.
Everyone can do one thing to make a difference in the life of someone experiencing violence.
If you want to learn how to get involved and make a difference to a victim or survivor of domestic violence, check out dvawareness.org for all types of ideas and how to get connected.
Because when we all do our one thing, we can collectively make a big difference.
We didn't give our ratings for Tina, but I give Tina, if I could give it 10 sips, I'd give it 10 sips. But this, I get 5 sips. It was excellent.
Definitely 5 sips with Tina.
Yes.
Definitely 5 sips.
So coming up next, we're going to go into our 3 Chick Biz segment where we highlight our small business. And this week's business is Made by Mars, which is a pop-up store in Atlantic Station, owned by DJ. Not owned, but the company is owned by DJ Mars. He is a celebrity DJ by night, and has now, since the pandemic, pivoted into a bike shop and bike customizer.
Hi, my name is Kim Clark, aka Social Butterfly ATL, one part of Chix Flix podcast and videocast, and we're here with my man DJ Mars at his pop-up shop here in Atlantic Station. So, Made by Mars here. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are and what you do.
Oh man, before COVID, I was a traveling DJ playing loud music for people all over the globe. That's like the very comical explanation of my job. But now, seriously, DJ Mars represents Atlanta. Been in Atlanta since '91. Graduated from Clark Atlanta University, originally from Springfield, Mass. And here's 2021, and I still have a place in the space here. So it's a blessing to still be relevant. That's a blessing.
Awesome. So I've been following you for years. We're really good friends and everything like that. You've DJ'd for, you name it, Steve Harvey, Usher, Monica, the list goes on and on. But you shifted from DJ 24/7, 24/8 really almost, to bike customization and bike aficionado, so to speak. So did the pandemic make you pivot?
Yes, it was definitely because of the pandemic that I went into high gear. So I'll explain that. About 3 years ago, I founded this bike club called ATL Bike Squad. And what we used to do is we would organize our rides typically on Sundays. It'd be like 50 of us, and we would ride from any point in the city. It could be from Atlantic Station to Buckhead, from Buckhead to Decatur, from Decatur to the airport. And that was our thing, mostly BMX bikes, but a little bit of everybody was in a group. BMX riders, fat bike riders, we would all ride together. That was the inauguration of DJ Mars into the bike world in Atlanta. During late 2019, I was touring with Tiffany Haddish. My birthday's in March, so I was saying to myself, I'm gonna buy a bike and I'm gonna customize it specifically for my birthday. So I bought 2 bikes, and I, in effect, became my own client. So one of them was a GT, no, both of them were GTs actually, and I customized them. One was based on my neighborhood, another one was based on my old neighborhood and whatnot. And it was just a lot of fun customizing the bikes. COVID hit, and then we were stuck in the house, and initially I was kind of scared to go out. So I posted one of the bikes, and someone was like, yo, that bike is dope. What are you doing with it? Yeah, I want to buy it. Now, no joke, out the box, the client, the buyer, was a kid from the UK. So he bought the bike. So instantly, my first bike out the box was an international purchase.
Wow.
So then I just kind of kept building bikes and posting them, and people say, I want a Made by Mars, I want a Made by Mars. That's where the name came from, and that's how it started. So COVID had everybody locked down, essentially from March to March. The audience grew, and then now it's to a point where I can no longer just customize bikes out of my house. I have to have a shop because the customer base, thank God, the customer base grew. Oh my God, it's so amazing that has happened. So now here we are. I'm here with Atlanta Influences Everything, selling bikes and merch.
Well, I guess this is one of the COVID-safe activities that you could do socially distant.
Yeah,
so that's why it, grew like wildfire.
Yep, that's it, exactly.
How long is the pop-up shop going to be down here in the Atlantic Station area?
We will be here through Sunday, May 2nd.
Awesome. And how can people find you online?
Oh, so you can follow me directly, DJ Mars 404, or you can follow the IG, the brand IG, Made by Mars 404. And then, if you're looking for a custom bike, if you're looking for a factory bike, just send me a DM and I'll get back to you and we'll get in the lab and make it happen.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. Make sure you check us out on Chix Flix. You'll be part of the Chix Flix Biz section. And thank you for your time. And best of luck with everything.
Thank you.
And we opened up the pop-up shop. Alicia and I went by, was that Thursday, I think it was, that you and I went over there? Thursday night. But the store will be there from now until May 2nd. So make sure you definitely go down there and check it out. He also, I guess you want to say, co-branded the store with another popular line called Atlanta Influences Everything. So they have not just bikes, they have t-shirts, sweatshirts. They even have a really cool Instagram wall with very iconic images of Atlanta. They have a Delta plane, they have TLC, they have just quite a few things, landmarks that you would know and recognize in and around Atlanta. And they sell everything from really dope bikes, and Alicia, actually behind you.
My beautiful beach bike. I felt like a kid when I was buying it the other day. I love getting this bike, yeah. And great merch. I bought one of his t-shirts also.
They have helmets, bike stands, and there's just all kinds of just cool stuff in there. So you can find him. It's made by Mars, and the website is Only the Fresh Survive. So make sure you check them out. They're really, really, really cool.
In Atlantic Station, across from Dillard's and the Nike store. Can't miss them.
Yeah, great location. And I wish them the best of luck with everything.
Yo, this is DJ Mars, president of the world famous Super Friends crew, made by Mars family, and you're watching Chix Flix, all right?
End of another show. I don't know if you want to talk about anything you're looking forward to watching that's coming out very soon.
For me, Mahalia actually comes on tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna tape that. Yeah.
Yep, I sent my DVR for that. That looks really good on Lifetime, and Robin Roberts from Good Morning America is one of the producers of it. I'm looking forward to seeing We Work. It's a documentary on not Netflix, on Hulu. And I have a family. Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Okay.
I have a family member that still works for WeWork, because I know they had a ton of layoffs and burned through a lot of cash, but he's still surviving. So I'm just very interested to see the rise and fall of WeWork. And then I'm also looking forward to seeing Concrete Cowboy with Idris Elba on Netflix. I think it started. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Anything else, Rhonda, you're looking forward to seeing?
Well, you guys said it, Mahalia, Concrete Cowboy, and WeWork. Those are the three things I'm going to be watching this week. Yeah, I'm really, really curious about WeWork. Like, how in the world did that happen? So I'm really, really looking forward to that.
I just love a good documentary. Oh my God.
Me too.
It's so fascinating.
Me too. So until next week, ladies, stay cute.
Stay cute.